Hello, I'm Dr. Jeff Smith, author of the book Living Pain-Free, It's Your Choice. That means I wrote the book on how to live a pain-free, healthy lifestyle. We're here to talk today about stroke recovery. Okay? If you suffered from a stroke or you know someone that has suffered from a stroke and you're watching this video, you're going to learn quite a bit today about how to deal with these conditions, how to improve these conditions in patients. Now, I'm board certified. We treat our patients neurologically and metabolically. What does that mean? How do you finally end your chronic healthcare stroke nightmare? What makes us so different? Well, we treat our patients metabolically and neurologically. Now, what does that mean exactly? Well, metabolically, let's talk about that first. What that means is your blood chemistries, your blood analysis, what's happening inside your body. Okay? When we examine our patients, I'm here to tell you we leave no stone unturned. We're going to look at everything. Now, why is that important? Well, for one, we're going to run some blood tests on you. We're going to look at a thyroid panel, a metabolic panel, a lipid panel with your fats and triglycerides and HDLs and LDLs, a CBC with autodifferential. Now, I know, I've heard it, I know what you're thinking. Doctor, I've run the tests. I went to my doctor. He said my lab report looked great. Okay? Why are you still sick? If your lab report was so great, why are you still sick? Okay? We're here to look at that. We're here to analyze that. Because if metabolically your body is not right, and neurologically your body is not right, you have no chance of recovering from your stroke. We run tests like sensitivity tests. Okay? For instance, if you're a stroke patient and you're allergic to or have any sensitivity at all to gluten, soy, milk, yeast, eggs, those types of things, your stroke symptoms are going to be worse. Okay? They're going to be a lot worse. You're going to have more pain. You're going to have more fatigue. You're going to have indigestion. You're going to be bloated after you eat. You ever eaten and just feel kind of not good? You're going to have frequent loose bowel movements and constipation. You can have ulcers in your mouth. Okay? Sores in your mouth. You can vomit. All of that is just from sensitivity to certain types of foods that you probably have no earthly idea you're sensitive to because your doctors never run the proper tests. Okay? The only way to find out if you're sensitive to those things is to run the tests. But if your doctor doesn't know to do that, you're never going to know. Adrenal stress index test, your adrenal glands. Your adrenal glands sit right on top of your kidneys. These are your stress glands. Okay? If you've had a stroke, your body has had a lot of stress. A lot of stress. If your adrenal glands aren't functioning, your body isn't going to be able to deal with that stress and you're going to remain sick. You're going to remain in that state. Okay? The test will show that. Your adrenal glands also can cause insomnia. Stroke patients frequently suffer from insomnia. It's because the adrenal glands aren't clearing out cortisol in the brain. If cortisol is too high, you're wide awake at 3 a.m. in the morning and dead tired at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Okay? That's from adrenals. Autoimmune disorder. How do you know if you have an autoimmune disorder? What does that mean? Well, autoimmune means your body is attacking itself, attacking the brain tissue, attacking the nerve endings in your body. How do you know? You run the tests. You just got to run the tests. For example, many patients that suffer from stroke have chronic pain or chronic fatigue or chronic problems in movement have antibodies in the thyroid, TPO and TPG. When those antibodies are too high, you're going to suffer from Hashimoto's disease. What is Hashimoto's disease? Well, it's an underactive thyroid. It causes pain to be worse, causes sluggishness, weight gain, okay? All those things affect the immune system. And when your immune system is affected, it can be attacking your nervous system. Your immune system attacks your nervous system, and stops your nervous system from working properly. So in a stroke, if you can't move this arm here and you can't move your right leg, it could be partly due to your immune system attacking the nerves of your arm and leg. How are you going to know if that's the case? Well, you got to run the test. Your doctor's got to know to run that test. And if that is the case, you can treat that condition, treat that immune system, and vastly improve the symptoms that you're having from your stroke. There's certain panels that need to be run for the immune system. Lymphocyte subpopulation, Th1, Th2 cytokine panels, natural killer cell activity panels. Those panels give me an in-depth view of what's happening inside your body's immune system. Because if you're suffering from an autoimmune disorder, it trumps everything else that's wrong with you. Everything else. Okay? H. pylori, or Helicobacter pylori, that's the bacteria that we all have in our stomachs. We all should have a certain amount of that in our stomachs. But when it runs too high and out of control, it causes leaky gut syndrome. Now, what is leaky gut syndrome? Well, I know a lot of you have heard of appendixes bursting. What happens when an appendix bursts? Well, all that bacteria just spreads all around in your stomach, making you just sick and bloated and horrible feeling. All those toxins are getting in there. The same thing happens in leaky gut syndrome. If your bacteria is out of control, it causes your intestines to leak out all those fluids. So your gut tends to swell and be bloated. Okay? That causes an immune reaction, which we talked about earlier. The immune system can actually cause damage to the nerves and make the stroke symptoms worse. Neurotransmitters. We test neurotransmitters. If your brain's neurotransmitters are decreased or they're not firing appropriately, the right half side of your brain isn't going to communicate very well with the left hand side of your body like it's supposed to. Okay? And vice versa. The left brain can't communicate with the right hand side. We need to know if that's happening. For instance, if your stroke has affected your left side, we need to know what part of the brain on the right is doing it. Hormone panels. Why would we want to check your hormone panels? Well, in symptoms related to these things, stroke symptoms can be worsened by hormones, testosterone in both males and females. Okay? If those levels are off, it causes mental fogginess, mood swings, hot flashes, sweating, weight gain, and decreased physical stamina. If you've had a stroke, you already don't have very much energy. Well, if you have hormone problems, you're going to have even less. Extremely important. Inflammation. Why would inflammation be important? Well, if you have inflammation in your brain, and again, the left side of the hand isn't working and the inflammation is in the right side of your brain, that's going to make this left side even worse. We need to know if that's happening. How do you know? You run the test. Glutathione. Do you have proper amounts of glutathione in your body? Glutathione is essentially the mother lode of all antioxidants. It's what cleans your body out. And if you don't have enough of it in your system, you're going to be toxic. How do you take glutathione? Well, you can't take it in pill form. It doesn't work in pill form. You can only take it with a cream, or breathe it, or use a suppository. If your doctor tries to give it to you in pill form, don't take it. It's not going to work. You're wasting it, wasting your money on it. Those are the metabolic treatments. So we have to know what's happening inside your body, how it's affecting your stroke. And from that information, we then will combine that with neurological treatment. Well, what is neurological treatment? Neurological brain-based treatment is the treatment of brain and nervous system tissues. Okay? Your brain needs two things: oxygen and fuel in the form of sugar or glucose. But it has to be the right sugar or the right glucose. Okay? We provide the right types of sugars, and we provide oxygen therapy to our patients to rehabilitate damaged tissue. Okay? In stroke victims, it's very important. Your brain also needs activation. If a part of your brain has been damaged by a stroke, either an ischemic attack or a blockage or whatever, and has killed off parts of those tissues, that part of your brain needs activation. It needs to be stimulated again so it can start working properly. We use EWOT therapy. EWOT therapy means exercise with oxygen therapy. Okay? If you exercise your hands or legs while you're breathing concentrated oxygen, you're firing the part of your brain responsible for movement in the body. So if your stroke has caused the left arm not to work very well, and we fire and stimulate the movement portion of your brain, we can actually make it start working better again. Brain-based therapy, sometimes we use vibration therapy. Okay? We'll vibrate your body and your brain at a frequency that stimulates it. Okay? Laser therapy, we actually use a laser to stimulate tissues, help heal damaged tissues. Decompression therapy, if we have a disconnect between the brain and the lower body, it may be because somewhere in your spine or spinal cord there's a compression. Well, if you decompress that, or if you open that channel of communication again, your brain can then communicate with your leg, for instance. If your leg doesn't work for your stroke, we want to get that connection from your brain to your leg working. Okay? Sometimes we use an interactive metronome, which means we're training right brain and left brain. Why is that important? Well, it's like a car engine. If you have 4 cylinders on the right and 4 on the left, the 4 on the right are going down the road at 3,000 RPMs. The 4 on the left are going at 1,200. Okay, how far is your car going to get down the road? Not very far. Well, how far would your brain go? How well would your brain work if the right side of your brain is going 3,000 and the left only 1,200? Okay, your brain has to be working equally or the rest of your body can't work. Now, we want to ask you 4 simple questions about this, about stroke. 4 questions. How has your stroke affected your job, your relationships, your finances, your family, the activities you want to do? How has it affected you? What does it cost you in terms of time and money, happiness, sleep? What does it really cost you? Where do you picture yourself in the next 1 to 3 years if you don't get this problem taken care of soon? Where do you think it's going to go? Probably worse. What is it worth to you if someone could improve your condition? Is it worth your time? Is it worth your effort? Is it worth your listening to the doctor and doing the types of things you need to do to better yourself? Because if it's not worth it to you, then you're wasting your time. If you can't put in the effort, you're not going to get well. Many people ask me when I do these talks, what do I do next, doctor? What do I do? Well, here's what you do. You call our office, 479-271-6992. 479-271-6992. Ask for an evaluation. Ask for a free evaluation to see if you're a candidate for my program. We're going to run 4 basic neurological tests on you. Okay? When you schedule your appointment, they're going to make you 2 appointments. On the first day, we're going to run these tests. We're going to check these 4 basic tests. On the second day, I'll personally sit down with you and we'll go over your results, and I can tell you yes or no if I can accept you as a patient. Now, last year in this Bentonville clinic, we treated 18,203 patients. We simply cannot accept patients in this office that are not serious about changing their life. I will only accept the most promising and most beneficial patients. We will not accept you if we can't help you. So don't waste your time. Don't waste your money if you're not serious about it. Because I'm here to change your life. When you come in, again, I'll give you a copy of the book, Brain-Based Therapy, that has the chapter in there, Brain-Based Therapy. I'll give you a copy of the chapter. I'll give you a copy of the chapter on strokes. We'll give you a DVD on stroke recovery. This is a DVD of patients that have gone through this treatment and have been so successful and so happy they wanted others to know about it. You'll even be able to read a book we have called Clinic Success Stories, where we have hundreds and hundreds of letters from patients thanking us for changing their life. Now, I hope you're one of them. Call our office, make your appointment, change your life today. I'm Dr. Jeff Smith. I look forward to seeing you in the future. Have a blessed day.
All right, so this is Barbara Strum. Barbara was here originally for, you were here for weight loss, I think, right?
Yes.
Originally, but what we found was that you had had some cancer, some chemotherapy, and other things that caused some brain issues that kind of prevented you from losing weight, but caused some other health issues as well, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what we decided to do is put you through the brain-based program prior to putting you on the actual weight loss program, correct?
Uh-huh.
All right. So in terms of the brain-based therapy, we had some memory lapses, we had some coordination issues, you had some weight gain, obviously, those kinds of things. How did you benefit from going through the program so far?
The first and most noticeable thing that I experienced was the fact when I would turn my neck, it wouldn't grind anymore. I hadn't really thought about it in the past, but it was like it was well oiled and lubricated and quit grinding. Then after that, I've noticed that I feel sharper. Not sure if I am, but I feel sharper, and I've lost some weight through. Yeah, I'm not sure if it was strictly this, or I've also changed medications with my doctor, but I have lost, I want to say 8 pounds, I think.
8 pounds. Well, we actually put you on a little bit of a food restriction diet with the brain-based program, too. So we hadn't even started the weight loss program yet. You still lost a little bit of weight, so that's good. What about things like memory, short-term, long-term memory, those kinds of issues?
As far as